Well, Maryland's Republican Party picks a candidate to run against a long-term congressional incumbent.
Delegate Anthony O'Donnell recently announced his candidacy to unseat Minority Whip Steny Hoyer. He joins us now in the studio to talk about his campaign. Thank you for joining us, Mr. O'Donnell.
Good to be with you both, very much.
Thank you. Well, the first question is, why are you running and what are some of your goals?
Well, the first thing is that people are very frustrated with what's going on in Washington, D.C. right now, and they're frustrated with both parties, I believe, but we need to get some business done in this country. We need to quit playing games. People are very frustrated, and unless we get this country back on the right track, everything is threatened. And I believe our current congressman is part of the problem in terms of playing some of the games up there that are being played. We need jobs. People in Prince George's County want to know how are we going to create these good paying jobs and how are we going to educate our children well, and who's doing some things. So when I started looking at it, I had to question, what is our congressman doing for us and what has he been doing? Is he too focused on D.C. or is he focused on Prince George's County, Anne Arundel County, and Southern Maryland?
Would you say jobs is your top priority?
Jobs clearly has to be a top priority in this economy.
You face probably a tough challenge with such a long-term incumbent. What kind of campaign are you going to run?
Well, look, it's going to be a campaign of issues. It's going to be something where we're going to be out in the district. It's going to be very aggressive. We're going to be talking to people, meeting people. We want to know what their concerns are. People can go to our website and look at o'donnellforcongress.com and look at our first production to kind of get a sense of what our concerns are, what our issues are, and what kind of campaign we're going to run. But clearly, we're going to discuss these issues, I think, at a level that hasn't been discussed in this district in a long time. And it's going to be a different kind of race. The environment is there for people clamoring to change the status quo, and things have been a certain way for a long time. And we're going to see if we can stir that up a little bit. I think that's healthy in our political processes.
Hey, Mr. O'Donnell, you touched on this a little bit, but I think it's safe to say that a lot of people are pretty fed up with what they're seeing on Congress, both parties not willing to compromise, holding up some big issues. What are some of the ways that you're going to try to bring the parties together?
Yeah, I mean, look, the first priority, and it's part of the reason why I went in the military when I was a young kid out of high school, we got to put America and America's business first, and this partisan gamesmanship has to stop. We need to, in this particular instance that we're dealing with now, the House sent the Senate a bill, the Senate sent the House a bill, and they were in different forms. One was a year-long program, the other was a 2-month program for the payroll relief that everybody needs very badly on our taxes. And the normal process is for those two bodies to get together and to reconcile the differences. It's called a reconciliation process. They usually have a conference committee that does that. And instead of doing that, the Senate went home on vacation. People don't seem to be too concerned, and the leaders, and including Congressman Hoyer, need to step up to the plate and get the business of America done. And that is so desperately needed in this country, and the leadership is not there to do that.
Montgomery and Prince George's have pretty much the largest population in the state, but it's largely Democratic. So how do you win them over, and will we be seeing you here campaigning? You'll
be seeing me very, very often. I'll be here, first of all, in the upcoming legislative session in Annapolis. I'll be working with my friends in the Prince George's County delegation very, very closely. We'll be working on things like redistricting issues, as we did today in Annapolis. We'll be working on things like same-sex marriage, which is very important to many constituents in Prince George's County. And I will be here, I'll be shaking hands, I'll be talking about issues, and I'll be learning about what's important to people going forward in their families, in their lives, in their education of their children. What changes would they like to see? And I'm going to be very receptive in doing the retail politics that maybe haven't been done for quite a long time in this district. So you're going to see me a lot here.
Okay. And before we go, we want to ask you about redistricting. What is your opinion on that? It's becoming a very hot topic.
There's actually that congressional lawsuit right now.
There's a congressional lawsuit, and a lot of folks believe that the minorities have been disenfranchised by this plan, so that's the basis of the lawsuit. They claim a violation of the Federal Voting Rights Act, and I think there's merit to the case. So it's in the Federal District Court in Greenbelt. It was heard on Tuesday. I supported a plan. I actually offered a plan as the minority leader that would have created the third majority minority district in the state of Maryland. There were two other plans offered, one by the Fannie Lou Hamer PAC group that would have created a third majority minority district in the state, and there was a third plan. But the majority and the governor said, no, you're going to have to wait 10 years. Well, I don't think they should have had to wait 10 years. We offered plans that would have provided for that third majority minority district, and I'm hoping that the courts see it our way and kind of change this a little bit. Donna Edwards, of course, was moved out of Montgomery County and over into Anne Arundel County, and that's caused some consternation too. So.
All right, well, we have run out of time, but we want to thank you for joining us, and we'll be seeing more of you in this as your campaign goes on.
I look forward to it. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Mr. O'Donnell. Okay.